it's Mary, and I'm back with a Project Life process video for you today. I'm going to go through and explain what I'm doing. Today we have a challenge going on with a few other YouTubers that we just admire. But first I'm going to go ahead and explain what's going on here. So I just grabbed some washi tape that goes with these cards that my daughter, Abby, has picked out for our challenge. It's hard for me to pick out Project Life cards because I have them really organized, and so I just let her go through the cards and pick them out. Luckily, she did a really good job. And I might have her do this from now on because she picked out things that all really went well together. So I'm not going to use all of the cards, but I am going to use a lot of the cards. And instead of using them to back my papers, I'm going to go through and I'm going to make some DIY embellishments and things just to layer on my cards. So while you're watching me punch out things and fussy cut things and organize them in this little Dollar Tree divided container, I'm going to explain what's going on with the challenge. We have asked a few other YouTubers if they would like to collaborate with us this month for Project Life and then next month for a layout challenge. And so our challenge was to pick random cards, and out of those cards, we could throw out 3 that we didn't want to use and then make a Project Life spread out of this. Now, you guys have seen Kira do that before. If you're new to our channel, then I can go ahead and link down the video of her doing that below. But we are so lucky to have Tori Bissell and Hannah Lemieux, Megan Blethen, and Julia Bailey join us in this challenge. So I will link everybody's YouTube channel down below, and so you can see their process video and how they did their challenge for this. And we're starstruck. It's been really fun to get to know everybody, and I'm really excited to see what everybody has done for their challenge. So here I am, still fussy cutting out some stuff. This card was probably the only card that didn't really go well, but the background color of it went really well, so I'll use that to make some labels. I'm going to fussy cut out this floral piece. I ended up not using this, but I do have a second video that I will be posting on some DIY embellishments that I made after I got done with my Project Life spread. So stay tuned for that because I'll definitely have that up as well. This little deer card Abby was adamant about having it in the Project Life spread, and I didn't really know how I was going to use that. I'm a very literal scrapbooker, so if there was a deer in my pictures, it totally would have made sense to me. But I ended up making it work, and I'm really glad that she picked it out because it challenged me in a new way, and just to use something that didn't really make sense to my brain at the time, but then I made it make sense. So I'm taking my circle punch and my hexagon punch, and I'm just punching out some shapes to add little pieces of ephemera to my cards and my pictures. And I also had this tiny heart and the small heart punch, and I'm going to use those like you would enamel dots. So they'll just be spread around all of the photos and cards, and it really made everything cohesive, I thought. So there's all my garbage. I'm going to throw that away, and then we'll get started. So here's the pictures, and this is a insert for my March Project Life. Now, I have just changed the way that I'm doing Project Life temporarily because it's really hard for me to do Project Life every single week. And so I just ended up getting farther and farther behind. So instead of trying to catch up, I just let it go. And what I'm doing now is catching up by doing a month spread instead of, 4 weeks worth of pictures. Also, I'm very concerned about when my children inherit my scrapbooks, that they will have a million scrapbooks that they will have to look through, and I don't want that for them. I want them to be able to treasure them, and I want them to have a decent amount, but I don't want it to be overwhelming. So I'm also keeping in mind how many albums I'm going to be doing a year. So doing it monthly, I might not change it. I might keep it like that. And it'll work for me. So that's what I'm really worried or really concerned about is just making sure that it works for me. And if doing a weekly spread works for you, then have at it. It does not work for me. So all of these bits that I'm using are all of the embellishments that I cut out from those Project Life cards. This was just a special event that my girlfriend and her kiddos came to stay with us for the weekend. And so I wanted to document all of our little adventures that we went on. And obviously, we had enough for a double page 6x12 pocket page spread. So if I would have added that in to my weekly spread and added it all with the other pictures that I had taken, it just would have been really overwhelming, even just to do it in my monthly spread. So I wanted to document it, and this is the best way that I thought about documenting it. So I'm taking this Life is Sweet phrase that I cut out from the Maggie Holmes Bloom paper, the Project Life collection. Kira and I were able to split this. And so if you're new to our channel and have not visited us yet, let me explain a little bit about what our channel is. We share our channel, Kira and I. We are crafty friends who met on Instagram, and we have a Q&A video and that I can link below as well so that you can get to know us more. So if you're checking out my video first, definitely go and check out her challenge because she has participated in this as well. Now, she is in the middle of moving to Texas. She is probably in Utah today and somewhere traveling down to Texas. They're supposed to be into their apartment on Friday. By the time that you watch this video, they will be somewhere between Utah and Texas. But she will be back probably mid-June. So for now, you get to see me. If you wanted to subscribe, and you can definitely go check out and see what she has done previously. I love her Project Life spreads, and her layouts are just amazing, and she's so talented. So back to what I'm doing. This card here, I'm going to be doing a flip up card, and it is a picture of my daughter Abby, and she is carrying around her little toy Rexy. Now Rexy is a very special toy because my husband Cameron, this was his toy, and it even has his name written on the bottom of Rexy's foot. So I'm journaling here on the back of this card. That's going to be my flip up. And I'm saying Rexy is Abby's toy dinosaur, which she carries around everywhere, especially to go see his family at the dino park, which is where we were visiting. This was passed down from Cameron, who gave it to Ike, and Ike gave it to Sissy. So those are my kiddos. Now, on the front of that card, I just journaled about the pictures on the right of my kiddos. They're swinging on their tummies. I said Isaac is showing Sissy how to swing on her tummy. They were both flying, and it was so cute. So now I'm on to the bottom card, and this is the story. Abby fell in the lake. She was getting too close to the water, and she's a lot like me, okay? I can pretty much trust her to know her own limits because I know my own limits, and since she's a lot like me, I know that she's going to be safe. Now, the problem with that philosophy is that she is 3, and so she doesn't quite know her limits. So she was right next to me, within 10 feet away from me, and Isaac is screaming at me because he's a little bit closer to her, and he says, "Mom, Abby fell in the lake. She just got too close to the edge," and in the girl goes, and she's looking faced, her belly is all the way in, her feet are in the lake, her belly is up on the mud and the bank, and her hands are reaching up at me and screaming, and so I'm like pulling her out of the pond, and oh my gosh, it stunk so bad. And quick, Martha and I took off my jacket and I picked her up. I took her shoes off so that her poor little feet wouldn't freeze, and wrapped her up in my warm jacket that was on my body. And then we had to hike all the way around the lake and back up to the van so that we could turn the van on and get her warm and snuggle her up in some new clothes. And so when she doesn't know her limits, she finds out by making mistakes. And so I can guarantee you this will never happen again, because the girl is going to be very cautious going next to the lake from now on. And it just added to the adventure. And I was so glad that Martha was there to help me, because we, passed her back and forth between each other. So that's what I wrote. I said, here's the story. Abby and Isaac were playing too close to the half frozen over lake, and Ike came running. Mom, Abby fell in. So I'm onto the back side of the 6x12 pocket page, and I'm just adhering the two photos together. I had debated about putting more pattern paper in between the two photos to use up the 4x6 cards. But here's the deal. I didn't want to cut down the pictures because I had already put so many pictures in. And if anybody else has a Canon Selfie, the Canon Selfie paper does not print exactly 4x6. It's just a smidgen smaller than 4x6 because of the tear strips. Now, if you are an employee for Canon and you have some pull with a Canon Selfie, tell them to get their stuff together, because seriously, you could make the tear strip a little bit farther away so that we have true 4x6 photos. Honestly, it drives me insane. And now I'm starting to print it off on my wide format Epson printer, but I love the quality of the Selfie, and I want to continue using it, but it drives me nuts for Project Life. Anyway, rant over. Here I'm making a shaker pocket, and if you guys saw my last video, you were probably laughing at me because I didn't do it right, and I made a bunch of mistakes because it was my first one, but I got it. Abby and I, same. So I made a mistake, and now I will probably never do it that way again. I figured it out. So I am grabbing some sequins from my stash here. These are from Spiegel Mom's Scraps, and I will, at the end of this video, leave my code so that you can save 15% at the Spiegel Mom's Scraps store. And Jody has some amazing sequin mixes in her shop. So go check it out. And because I'm just adhering the photos back to back, I just made sure to pop the rest of that up on foam so that the other side, wouldn't smush down in my album. So there we go. And I'll come back and kind of decorate that card a little bit. I'm trying to really simplify my Project Life process. I'm keeping in mind I don't need to decorate every single card. I'm also taking up opportunities of the white spaces on my pictures. Like this one is a picture of us at the trampoline park, and there was a space above Martha and my head that wasn't really anything interesting going on, so I just put a piece of that ephemera that I had punched out from the Maggie Holmes Bloom card. And then I'm going to journal down below. I just wrote that we went on an adventure to the trampoline park. And at the top of that, where that blue is, I wrote in my white gel pen, "So sweaty." And then, because we were like doing this duck face. We're silly when we get together. So, that's how that went. We ended up jumping with the kids and seriously got a workout. So this card, Abby didn't pick out, but I didn't have any journaling cards. So I literally grabbed one off of my desk, and I didn't care if it went or not. It was just lined. It said special moments on it. And I believe that this is from Ellie's studio. So I wrote down all of the special things that happened while Martha was here. I said Martha and kids visiting, fun at the dino park, playing, relaxing together, swimming in winter because Abby fell in the pond, rejuvenating our souls, talking about giftings, and finding encouragement. And those last three were definitely moments treasured between Martha and I when the kids went to bed. So in between the cards, the pictures that I'm doing on the right, these pictures were just quick snaps of like morning or relaxing time when we were at home. And I wanted to include those pictures because Martha's son, who is to the right of my son, is her oldest, and then my oldest really hit it off. They're several years apart. And Oli, her oldest son, was like the first baby in my life. You know, I watched him be born, and he was like the first kid of all of my friends. And so we have a special connection. So it was just really cool to see our firsts be amazing big brothers together and become friends. So I'm taking some more of those hearts that I had punched out just to decorate up that special moments journaling card there on the left. And this is how I'm going to use the deer. I'm going to decorate up this shaker card that I had made with some fussy cutout flowers and tuck the deer in so it kind of looks like it's behind a bushel of flowers. So pretty. And I'm going to just write out with a pen dearly. I'm looking for some Tim Holtz stickers. I have a really hard time looking for Tim Holtz stickers because it takes me forever to find the words. I was one of those kids that would have taken forever on word searches. I just wasn't good at seeing words pop out. And then I'm going to take this card that said hello love, and I'm just going to sketch in the D so now it becomes loved. So what it says now on the deer is dearly loved. And I don't think that anybody could tell where Maggie Holmes' script writing ends and then my script writing begins. So it turned out real great. And then the Tim Holtz stickers that I used, they were in a craft color, says, you are dearly loved. So I think that turned out just great because it was true. They are so dearly loved. So now I'm taking these small heart punches that I had punched out, and I'm just gluing them down to kind of make a tab. And that's it. So I will link down below. Stay tuned for some close-ups and to get that code from Spiegel Mom Scrap Store. And I will link down below everybody else's channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go check out their channel because they're amazingly talented women. And I can't wait to see what they do for their challenge. All right, you guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.